Thank you. My name's Daniel Stoner, and it's good to be here. And when I originally spoke with Duke a few weeks ago, I thought I was feeling much better than I was. The last several months have been very challenging for me, from the end of a marriage to my response, reaction to that, and the consequences of those less than unity spiritual practices. And just a couple strokes, a few seizures thrown here and there, and 3 trips to the hospital have left me a different person than I was 5 months ago. When I first walked in the doors of Unity almost 6 years ago, I knew this was my spiritual home. I knew that I had found that place where I could be transparent and be vulnerable. There's a Southern saying that says, "I don't know how you're doing on the inside, but your hair looks great." About a month ago, my hair started falling out on the right side. So I had to come up with a new tagline for that. And that started the humble. It started this new transition for me. It was no longer about me. It was about my daughter. It was about a broader sense of my world. And this congregation stood by me. One member, Bob Saunders, a few months ago, I wasn't doing well at all, and he just walked up to me and said, "I have my eye on you," and gave me a hug. And that stays with me in the hospital when that voice, those words, and I really appreciate that. And one of my greatest fears was abandonment. I have always let that motivate me, propel me, push me, drag me, pull me into places, some things that were good, some things that were not, places I should have not stayed as long, or, but in this, while I was paralyzed on the left side from one of the strokes, I had to just sit in my own stuff and be with me. And I received some of the greatest gifts. And you would not want to know my exact words when Heidi said, "I just surround you with love," because I wasn't at that point where I wanted to be surrounded by anything right then. And, but I'd grown into it. And one of the gifts was through that pulling and that breaking apart came a different man than I was 5 months ago. I've stood in front of this congregation and proclaimed that I would be a father, and that has come to pass. I've stood in front of the congregation and discussed alcoholism and those character qualities, not defects, but qualities that have helped me grow. And it is those things that cause us the most pain that seem to have the greatest joys. This congregation, I would not be here in front of you today, and I sincerely know this, if you had not been beside me the last 5 years, the last 5 months. And I appreciate the person that left a 2-liter bottle of Fresca on my front porch with a bow on it a couple weeks ago. I don't know how you knew I was a Fresca freak, but I am. And the people that came when I stopped saying I'm fine, when I couldn't get out of bed, the people that came and helped me bathe, the people that came and filled my car up with gas, that brought me food, some of the same eyes that I looked into in prayer as a chaplain, I called. And I realized that I thought I was giving love before, but I wasn't allowing others to give love to me and to receive love. So I am humbled. I am forever indebted. And I am so grateful. And with a grateful heart and a grateful mind and a grateful spirit, I recommit myself to unity and just this church and Duke and Heidi and each of you. And I'm very grateful. So thank you.
Walking, talking, receiving person. Beautiful, thank you. And thanks for taking the door off, you know, and letting people in. And so let's just let this be what this season is, that we recognize the places where we may be holding back, the places where we've learned that we can't let this life happen to us. And also to look at the places where people love you, to let people give you compliments and show up for you and help you. And all of us, whether you have a pet or someone that really champions you. I see these two friends over here I know that champion one another. And if you don't have someone like that in your life, come downstairs to our Christmas reception. If you stand still for 5 minutes, somebody's going to come over and say hello to you. So let yourself be loved until you know the love that you are. Because that's what Christmas is about. That's what the secret is all about, is risking. And I'll ask you a question. Will you risk letting go of your story to know more of the love that you are? Come on, one more time. Yeah, absolutely. That's it. Because, if not, what's the whole purpose? We want to build that bridge going from feeling lack to knowing love. And don't you think it's time? Yeah, absolutely. So let's go into our period of meditation, being with that love that we are and recognizing that Christ consciousness within you.